Hello, welcome back to Saturdays at Derek's. This is Derek.
He doesn't have a hat.
I have a cat. All right, go.
You look like a wig. You should run for president.
Aw.
Um,
Yeah, you don't want me judging people.
Well, as we speak right now, at this very moment, in
San Diego, California,
there's a little thing going on called Comic-Con.
which we're not going to talk about right away.
Right, because I am completely screwing everything up. See, you took me for a loop.
Good job. Well, yeah, and you didn't
took away my
introduction. You didn't introduce me. By the way, I'm Mike.
I have a hat.
You do. I'm sorry. Do you want to start over?
I mean, we could just continue.
All right. Well, either way, I mean, I've got a cat in my lap, so life is good.
I got some pussy in my lap. I got some pussy in my lap.
Yeah. And hopefully everyone understands that this is filler because we don't actually have a whole lot to talk about.
So one of the things we've been neglecting to talk about for the last couple of weeks is the Spider-Man casting. And I think a big part of it is that we don't know who the kid is that they have cast.
Yes. What the hell's his name? Holland?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah. So we have no idea who this guy is. I've never seen anything that he's in. But we've seen videos of him being all parkour. Yeah. And he's physically really talented. I mean, I could definitely see why they cast him. So if his acting is decent, cool. And, Marvel had a say in it this time around and gotten into a habit of trusting Marvel's judgment calls. So
yeah,
let's give him a go and see what happens.
And we saw him talking about acting in the Impossible, and him talking about the mythology of his acting in that movie.
You mean the methodology?
Yeah.
That thing?
That thing. Him talking about what he was thinking and talking about where he was going when he was acting and acting without the physical facial expression.
Without facial, because they were shooting him from behind, so he had to try to convey the emotion with his body language.
Kind of shows that he's got an intellect about his acting.
Well, and will be a guy who will be able to act in a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Which, will be important for Spider-Man. So I'm feeling pretty good about this casting choice. And
yeah. And we'll find out more about it because he's been confirmed for being in Civil War. So he should be filming just about now. And it should turn out okay.
Right.
I don't think they've wrapped on it yet, so...
Yeah, and now we can move on to San Diego.
San Diego,
California.
It's still really early, so a lot of the stuff hasn't really been dropped yet. And with things like Marvel not being there this year,
right? There's not a whole lot of huge announcements out of Marvel.
Yeah, I was.
Although it has kind of opened up the floor for DC to kind of.
Yeah, and the stuff we're seeing from DC is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's good. We got to see the costumes on mannequins, and they all look pretty nice. I especially dug Batman's power armor.
Yeah, I'm super hyped about the power armor.
It's nice. It's really similar to the power armor from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. So, I'm hopeful. And I'm hopeful because visually it looks like what I want to see. Affleck is going to be a great Batman. It feels like they've really put a lot of effort into being, true to the source material and, trying to make a really good film and start out their franchise, the DC cinematic franchise.
And
So I'm very hopeful about it. I mean, I had little problems here and there with Man of Steel, but for the most part, it was a really good movie.
yeah, the only thing that really bothered me with Man of Steel was the Pa Kent death.
Yeah,
Everything else about it, I really understood why they went to where they went to. But the Pa Kent death
well,
was
I can
just
understand
meaningless.
people being upset about Superman killing Zod.
Yeah.
And wrecking the dog shit out of Metropolis. I also see how that's setting up moral dilemmas for films later on. You know, so
Well, I guess
to me, it's forgivable transgressions against the character because it's gonna really serve the larger story arc later.
I guess one of the reasons why Batman is so PO'd at Clark Kent is because, or at Superman, is because one of the buildings they destroyed and was full of people was one of the
Wayne
Industries
yeah,
towers. So yeah, I mean it's good for setting
Oh,
up future story.
and didn't they wreck one of Wayne's satellites too?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm sure he's more upset about all the employees
That got killed in
Yeah.
the fight. Yeah,
and injured, and so
this is why you have sad Batman.
yeah.
You know, but I'm really looking forward to it. And apparently, Affleck is positioning himself for being the co-writer, director, and producer of the standalone Batman movie that's coming after this.
He's apparently co-writing it with Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns, yeah.
I almost called him Jim Johns. So I want a sandwich. But yeah, Jeff Johns is going to co-write it, and which is really big for DC fans because he is the big wig at DC right now.
Right. Well, that and you've got
and
Affleck,
he's been
who's an
writing.
Academy Award-winning film writer and director, and you know it's just, they got a lot of amazing talent, and I think this is going to end up being excellent for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. We're gonna see probably a Batman movie that's probably truer to the comic book than any other Batman movie we've ever seen. So, that's exciting because who
Yeah.
doesn't like good
Right.
Batman?
Oh,
comics?
at this point, the only question is, you know, what are they going to draw elements from?
Yeah,
You know, I mean, there's so much good Batman material out there that it's just it's exciting.
yeah. The only thing that I'm not excited about seeing for a Batman film now is kind of Batman facing off against the Joker because I really don't like the way the Ayers Joker looks.
Yeah, the Jared Leto Joker worries me because he seems like hipster Joker,
Yeah,
and hipster Joker could end up being a douche.
yeah.
And
So
I'm just that
hopefully
worries the
that
shit out of
doesn't
me.
work out well. They figure out some way to work around it.
Yeah,
Because I do want to see Batman facing off against the Joker. I just don't want to see Batman facing off Joker against Joker, who's kind of bleh.
right. Well, and the Dark Knight left some awfully big fucking shoes to fill as far as the Joker goes.
Yeah.
But other stuff from Comic-Con.
Another exciting thing that got released was the Lego announcement that Doctor Who is going to be
The next property for the Lego video games.
and he's going to be in the what was it called again? Dimensions.
Yes, I believe so.
So that's really cool. Apparently, when your character dies and he regens as a different Doctor every time, and things like the inside of the TARDIS change based on which Doctor you are, and all kinds of really cool stuff.
Yeah, and they write down to like the physical mannerisms of the different actors for the Doctor, and then all the tertiary characters, because it looked like Doctor Who is going to meet Dr. Brown, which
Yeah.
I think is going to end up being really neat. And then they had, all the main characters from the Lego movie.
I'm excited about the Doctor Who Simpsons crossover
Yeah.
potential.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that as a Doctor Who fan, and having enjoyed Lego games in the past. I think this is going to end up really knocking it out of the park.
Homer Simpson grabs a Dalek eye, is like, ooh, donuts.
Yeah. Right.
But even slightly more exciting than that is the Star Wars.
Yeah,
dropped some more footage.
Nothing really all that new so far, but
It's behind the scenes stuff.
well, it's behind the scenes stuff, and
We
and
finally get to see Carrie Fisher.
yeah,
dressed up
who's
in
looking pretty
costume.
good. I mean, she's not 20-year-old Carrie Fisher, but she's definitely not like 5 years ago Carrie Fisher, who.
Who looked her age.
Who was, funny, but physically she seemed pretty wrecked up.
Yeah. What else did they show? They showed Simon Pegg.
Yeah, who is going
to end up playing a background character. He's going to be basically Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's going to be wearing a costume, and
you're not going to recognize him, but he'll be there.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to get a Simon Pegg Star Wars action figure eventually. Just the basic excitement of all the cast and the crew, the excitement Harrison Ford had for the film.
Yeah.
And he's kissing everybody, so he's in a good mood. He's in a good place as far as where this film is going. That or maybe the airplane accident really rattled him up, and he's just like, I just miss you guys. Give me a hug.
Yeah, who knows what bad shit could happen.
I almost died. Give me a kiss, Mark.
It's been a rough year. Broke my leg, crashed my plane. Bring it in.
Yeah. No, he even gave Carrie a good kiss, and then he gave Mark a peck on the cheek, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. It's hard to not look forward to this because all the material they keep coming out with. Again, there was nothing really, really new in the footage that they've given out so far. I mean, there's no saying what they may give out later today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But so far, nothing really new, but definitely reaffirming why we should be excited for this and why we should be really looking forward to it, and why we should be at the theater at midnight on the day of, which I believe is December 18th.
December something like that, yes.
I want to say it's the 18th.
I'm brain farting now. It's either 16th, 17th, or 18th. 18th probably sounds about right. It's been a rough week at work. So.
Yeah, right.
I'll get because we got inventory coming up on the 16th, so I'm a little bit burnt out. Just
fine. Ooh, yeah. Speaking of teenths, next week on the 14th, the Batgirl DLC is going to drop for Arkham Knight.
Ooh.
So I'm really looking forward to that because I dig Batgirl. She's awesome, and especially since spoiler alert, they fucking killed her in the games. It might be a trick, but I was playing the other day and fucking Scarecrow kidnapped her, locked her in a chamber, pumped it full of fear gas, and when you as Batman come up and you're like, Barbara, I'm gonna save you, and she like freaks out because she thinks you're a monster or something, grabs a pistol off the table and fucking pops herself. Now again, it's Scarecrow. And it could be complete bullshit.
Yeah, it Mysterio on him.
Yeah, he could have been, pumping you with some gas in the room that you were in, and you hallucinate Barbara being there and killing herself because you're already hanging out with the ghost of the Joker in your fucking head. So crazy is definitely on the table. So and again, I haven't finished the game, so. Who knows what's going down, but at this point, it's very intriguing because Barbara's dead, Jim's pissed off at me, and fucking everything seems to be fairly screwed up.
Barbara's dead, Jim.
And apparently the Batgirl...
I'm a Batman. I'm sorry.
Wrong doctor. Yeah. But, yeah, and apparently the Batgirl DLC is actually going to be a flashback thing.
Oh, okay.
So as to not contradict Barbara's death in the game.
Well, this is obviously an Elseworlds type story where it's
right. Yeah, and so it's very possible that she could have actually committed suicide, but it's definitely intriguing. Going, well, it's Crane. This could be complete bullshit.
Yeah.
So definitely waiting to find out on that one. But, there's so many interesting story threads going on all at the same time. It might be a little while before I find out the truth.
Yeah.
But again, Batgirl DLC, first video game you get to play Batgirl in, and I'm really jazzed about that.
Cool. Yeah.
So, any other last second offhanded thoughts that you have, or should we just shut this shit down for the week?
That's about it. We're psyched about everything that's going on. We're psyched about Tom Holland, psyched about the Lego Doctor Who, we're psyched about Batman v Superman, and definitely psyched about Star Wars.
Yeah. Things to not be psyched about? Donald Trump. That fucking lunatic. He's right up there with Mike Huckabee now.
We could be psyched about the fact that the Democrats are most likely going to win the next presidential race.
Well, yeah, if Donald Trump is your front runner and he's out there giving press conferences where he's fucking just riffing on Mexicans, yeah, I would say that if anything, he is possibly top 2 poorest choice for presidential candidate at this point, but somehow he's the Republican front runner.
But it was like that last election too, where we didn't really know.
Front runners before the primary never actually become the candidate.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just weird, and he's like losing sponsorships and everything.
Now he got fired from The Apprentice, which is ironic.
Yeah.
Seeing as his catchphrase is "You're fired."
I haven't trusted Trump since I watched that show. So
I haven't trusted Trump since the 80s.
I watched him fire some people who didn't deserve to be fired over people who really deserve to be fired.
Yeah.
It's like, are you not paying attention to what the hell your own show is doing?
Yeah.
You don't want to hire somebody.
Even beyond that, look, all the nefarious shit that guy did before he ever got on TV.
Yeah,
I don't trust that far. You know how many people
filed for bankruptcy like 4 times?
Filed for bankruptcy like 4 times. Fucked over like literally thousands of people in the construction industry on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. All that shit that he built in the 80s and then turned around and fucked contractors out of their money. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump, man. That guy's a scumbag, dude.
Yeah.
Beyond the TV show, I get that TV is fantasy and they put that shit on to create controversy. Those guys got fired so that you would be outraged and tune in next week. Mm-hmm. But the real Donald Trump, what Donald Trump really does to people, that guy's a fucking son of a bitch.
Yeah, so.
And
that's not the kind of thing you want running
not
your country.
the dude you want in charge of the fucking country. Not at all.
So. All right, well, that's our time.
I would actually see Marco Rubio in the fucking presidency before that son of a bitch.
Just hopped up.
And Marco Rubio's an inept jackass. But anyway, I think that's all for this week. Now they've made sure to lay in my fucking social commentary. It's been good having you guys by. Come on back again next week because, God knows what we plan on talking about and what we end up talking about are not necessarily the same fucking thing. So have a good week and we'll see you later.
Toodles.